Hello and welcome back to our channel Pharmalix. We are continuing with our GPAT rapid revision series and we will be taking 15 questions from subject Pharmaceutical Jurisprudence. Those who are visiting the channel for the very first time, please do not forget to subscribe the channel so that all the news related to GPAT, pharmacy and pharmaceutical exams should reach you at very right time. So without further ado, let's get started. So our first question is, the Drug and Cosmetic Act was first enacted in India in which date, which year Drug and Cosmetic Act was enacted in India? Is it 1940? Is it 1954? Or is it 1930? Or is it 1960? So Drug and Pharmacy Act was enacted in 1940 and the rules were made in 1945. Now let's see how we can learn these dates, how we can memorize these dates. The first, Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940 and the rules were given in 1945. This is the objective of the Drug and Cosmetic Act. Okay, so let's move on to our trick. So first let's start from the Drug Act. First it came the Drug Act. The Drug Act came in 1940. So people who live in forts. So you know fort, people who live in fort, they are very notorious. So they do drugs as well as the women's in there use cosmetics. So Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So Drug and Cosmetic Act was enacted in 1940 and the rules were developed in 1945. Okay, so this is how we can learn that people who live in fort are very notorious and use drugs, and also the women's use cosmetic. All right, so the next is Pharmacy Act, the Pharmacy Act. So with PHAR you can memorize 4, and since pharmacy is made up of 8 words, so it is 8. So Pharmacy Act was there in 1948. Pharmacy Act enacted in 1948. So this is the trick. PHAR means 4 and since it is composed of 8 letters, so it is 8. So 1948. Next is we have the Factory Act. So pharmacy and factory, if there would be pharmacy, there would be a factory producing it. So they came at very same time, like 1948 for both. So this is way we can memorize it. Then fifth one, we know the fifth one is Drug and Magic Remedies Act. Drug and Magic Remedies Act. So in India there is a place called Chopan where magic, usually the magicians live. So Chopan, we can memorize the Hindi letter 54, that is Chowan. So Drug and Magic Remedies Act came in 1954. And this is to stop the tona, talism and all the kind of magic to treat the disease. Okay. Sixth is Prevention of Food Adulterants. Sixth is Prevention of Food Adulterants. So in this way you can memorize that Magic Remedies Act enacted in 1944 and this was to stop the food adulterants, that is. So this is also for the same 1954. So Drug and Magic Remedies Act and Prevention of Food Adulterants Act, these both came in 1954. Next we can see Drug Price and Control Order. So next is DPCO, Drug Price Control Order. So what is price control? Suppose if you are getting something in 100 rupees and the government says now it will be available in 95 rupees. So something, the price is reduced through DPCO, Drug Price Control Order. So it was enacted in 1995. So 100 ka saman agar 95 mein mile, so that is DPCO. Okay, so it came in 1995. Then we have Medical and Toilet Preparation Act. Medical and Toilet Preparation Act. So Toilet Preparation Act, it came in 1955. So whenever we go in the washroom, it seems very pachpacha. What is pachpacha? Or it is very wetty. So wet-wetty in Hindi is called pachpacha. So that is how we can remember 55. Then we have Medical Termination of Pregnancy. Medical Termination of Pregnancy. So with medical termination of pregnancy, so to remember this act, you need to memorize that there is a lady whose name is 70 and 70 only wants one kid. So she is 19 years and her name is 70 and she wants only one kid. So that is 1971. So medical termination of pregnancy act came in 1971 and the rules came in 1975. Okay. Next is new drug policy. That is new drug policy. New drug policy came in 1994. So in 1994 new drug policy was enacted. And then Opium Act. So 70 is very notorious. So 70 is very notorious and 70 keeps the opium in the plate. 70 keeps the opium in the plate. So plate with 1978. So 19 is common, 70 is 7 and 8 we can remember 8 from the plate. Okay. So 1978. Then we have Dangerous Drug Act. Let me remove all this. Then we have Dangerous Drug Act. Dangerous Drug Act came in 1930. So whenever people fear in Hindi, they are थर-थर करके कांपने लगते हैं. They shiver and thus it is dangerous. So dangerous means थर-थर करके कांपने लगेंगे. That means 30. So 1930 Dangerous Drug Act was enacted. And then we have Narcotropic drug and Psychotropic substance Act, and we can also call it NDPS. So NDPS was enacted in 1985. So there is a 19-year-old guy, you can remember this as there is a 19-year-old guy who has a plate, but now he wants 5 plates. So thus we can remember 1985. Okay. So in this way, these are the few important dates which you can remember. So last we will discuss is Poison Act. So whenever people turn 19, they are more prone to take the poison because of a lot of things such as depression, breakups, family problems. So poison, the son takes the poison at 19. So 1919 will be the date when Poison Act was enacted. So with this, we will move on to our next question. Whatever important dates are left, we are going to discuss them along with the questions. So let's move to the next question, that is Schedule H drugs under this act. Schedule H drugs are under this act. So here should be R. So can be sold without prescription? Nope. Requires a prescription and bear RX symbol. Those who know RX symbol, please comment down below what is the meaning of RX symbol. Okay. So those who know, Schedule H drugs are those drugs for which the prescription is necessary. So B would be the correct option. Schedule H drugs are banned? No. Schedule H drugs are OTC herbal medicine? That is also wrong. So the correct answer is B. Schedule H drugs require a prescription and bear RX symbol. So here you can see Schedule H drugs, they requires RX symbol, and these are the drugs which require the prescription. These are the schedules which you can remember. These are the important schedules which are mentioned and have been asked again and again, such as Schedule C, Schedule F, Schedule G and Schedule H, and Schedule K and Schedule M. These are also asked in your semester exams as well, such as Schedule M. These are the most frequently asked questions. Okay, moving on to our next question. The Pharmacy Council of India, that is PCI, is established under which act the Pharmacy Council of India was established? Is it Drug and Cosmetic Act, or is it Pharmacy Act, or is it Narcotic Drug and Psychotropic Act, or Consumer Protection Act? So the correct answer is Pharmacy Act. So under Pharmacy Act, Pharmacy Council of India is established, and Pharmacy Act came in 1948. How did we remember? Phar means 4, and since it is composed of 8 letters, that is 8. So 1948 would be the correct answer. So under Pharmacy Act, Pharmacy Council of India was enacted. Here you can read about it, and this is how you are going to solve the questions in pharmaceutical jurisprudence. This is one of the most scoring subject in the GPAT and NIPER exam. Then we have NDPS, that is Narcotropic Drug and Psychotropic Substance. Psychotropic Substance Act prohibits. So this act prohibits what thing? Manufacture of narcotic without license, sale of all Schedule H drugs, export of Ayurvedic medicine and clinical trials. So clinical trial is wrong. Ayurvedic cannot be there. Sale of Schedule H we already know. Manufacture of narcotic without license. So this is going to be our correct answer. So if you know the full form of this even, you can solve this question. So manufacture of narcotic without license, and this is how you're going to remember it. And NDPS, it came in 1985. We have just now discussed that someone who had only one plate, now they have wanted 5 plates. So 1985. Okay. A patient receiving expired drugs can file a complaint under. There is a patient who have received expired drugs. Where he should file the complaint? He should file the complaint under the Consumer Protection Act or IPC section 302 or Pharmacy Act or NDPS Act. For this you need to know all these one by one. So someone who is a patient who has received expired drugs, now he wants to file a complaint. Where should he do? Should he do at Consumer Protection Act? Might be, because he is a consumer. Should he do under IPC 302? For this you also need to know IPC 302. So IPC 302 is not for the consumers or the expired drugs. Or is it about the Pharmacy Act? No, Pharmacy Act only talks about the PCI and its body and its constitution and members. Is it about the NDPS? That is Narcotropic Drug and Psychotropic Substance. So it is about narcotropic drug? No sir. So this is not our option. So the correct answer is Consumer Protection Act. So Consumer Protection Act talks about the expired drugs, and there the consumer can file the complaint against the substance he is having, the drug he is having. So consumer rights talks about right to safety, right to choose, right to be heard, right to be informed, right to healthy environment, right to redress, right to consumer education, and right to basic needs. Okay, let's go to another question, that is Form 24 is used for. There are various form number which are important and which need to be remembered for the NIPER and GPAT exams. So here we have the question of Form 24, which have already been asked in GPAT 2018 exam. So Form 24 is used for license to manufacture drugs, wholesale drugs license, clinical trial approval, or import of cosmetic. So the correct answer would be license to manufacture drugs. So Form 24 is for the manufacturing of drugs. It is for the license to manufacture of the drugs. Now let's see what are the important categories we need to remember. For licensing, these are the forms important, such as Form 24, Form 24A, 27, 27B and 27D. For retail and wholesale, Form 19 to Form 21 is important, and for other licenses, these are the forms which are needed to be remembered, and we are going to discuss them in our upcoming questions as well. So let's move to our next question. Form 20 is used for license to sell drugs, retail or wholesale, manufacturing blood products, export of narcotics, or Ayurvedic drug registration. So this is going to be very simple. If you remember, you will mark the answer in one go. So it is required for license to sell drugs, that is retail and wholesale. So this is going to be our correct answer. Let's see how we can remember this. So Form 20, license to sell, stock, exhibit or offer for sale or distribute drugs other than those specified in Schedule X. So apart from Schedule X, these are the things you can do with Form 20. Okay. Next is Form 12 is associated with import small quantities of drug for examination, testing or analysis and not for sale. B. Magic remedy advertisement. C. Drug price control. And D. Pharmacist registration. So the correct answer in here is going to be import small quantities of drug for examination, testing and analysis. okay, and this is not for sale. So these are some important form number which you need to remember. So take the screenshot and start remembering each form number, because there could be a question regarding this. The term spurious drug is defined under. So under which the spurious drug is defined? Section 17B of Drug and Cosmetic Act, NDPS Act, Pharmacy Act, or Consumer Protection Act. So see, Consumer Protection doesn't talk about spurious drug, Pharmacy Act does not talk about spurious drug, NDPS also not talk about spurious drug. So the discussion of spurious drug is always done under Drug and Cosmetic Act, that is section 17B. So this is going to be our correct answer. So poor quality drug classification comes under these. So there could be spurious drug, there could be misbranded drug, there could be adulterated drug. So you need to remember each of these definition. You need to remember each of these definitions, because by definition sometimes they ask what is a spurious drug, what is a misbranded drug, what is an adulterated drug. If you want to understand these separately, you can comment down below. We will be making another video for pharmaceutical jurisprudence where we will be discussing the trick of the different rates, different form numbers, and the few terminologies related to the pharmaceutical jurisprudence. Which form is used to license to operate blood bank? That means blood bank के लिए किस तरीके का जो फॉर्म लाइसेंस है वो आपको जरूरत पड़ेगी. इज इट गोइंग टू बी फॉर्म 28B? नो. फॉर्म 27C? यस. फॉर्म 20A? नो. फॉर्म 19? नो. सो द करेक्ट आंसर इज फॉर्म 27C. सो लेट्स सी, यहाँ पे फॉर्म 27C है, एंड दिस इज रिक्वायर्ड फॉर द ब्लड बैंक लाइसेंस मेड इन फॉर्म 27C. लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी वुड बी the Central License Approving Authority, DGCI, and the State Licensing Authority, that will be DC. Renewal of the blood bank license is also done using the specific form, that is 26G. This is one of the important question which is being now asked in NIPER exams. Okay, and validity. A blood bank license is valid for period of 5 years. That is 5 years only. Okay, so the next question is, who can issue the license for Schedule X drug? So Schedule X drug का लाइसेंस कौन इशू कर सकता है? इज इट PCI? नो सर. इज इट NPPA? नो सर. इज इट FDA USA? ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं हो सकता, क्योंकि यहाँ पे USA की बात तो हो ही नहीं रही है. देन द स्टेट ड्रग कंट्रोलर, दिस वुड बी द लाइसेंसिंग अथॉरिटी. सो लेट्स सी द एक्सप्लेनेशन. स्टेट ड्रग स्टैंडर्ड कंट्रोल ऑर्गेनाइजेशन, दैट इज SDSCO. These are the people who issue the license for sale, distribution, and manufacture of drug regulated at the state level, and for central level there is CDSCO. Okay. Next question is, a pharmacy advertises 100% cure for diabetes with herbal magic syrup. Which law is violated here? So see, diabetes is not curable. So if someone is telling you that I can cure it with some magic or talism, this is going to be under Drug and Magic Remedies Act, which came in 1954. We remember Chopan. So Chopan means Chovan, that is 1954. So Drug and Magic Remedies Act going to be the correct answer. So see, if you will remember the date, if you will remember the terminology, the questions and the type of questions it will ask regarding those topics, you are going to easily solve it. Next question is, under which act is the price control order in 1995 is governed? So DP Essential Commodities Act. So see, Pharmacy Act only talks about the PCI and the members. So DPCO comes under the Essential Commodities Act. Okay, so here you can see the explanation for DPCO, which came in 1995. Which government body is primarily responsible for enforcing the NDPS Act in India? So NDPS Act is enforced by which government body? Is it CDSCO, Narcotic Bureau Control Bureau, National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority, or Central Pollution Control Board? So for narcotropic and psychotropic substance, pollution could not be the answer. National Pharmaceutical Pricing Authority would also not come in play, and here CDSCO will also not participate. So with narcotic, we can also see the option Narcotic Control Bureau. So NCB is responsible for enforcing the NDPS Act in India. Under the NDPS Act, the punishment for illegal possession of commercial quantity of narcotic can lead to imprisonment up to 5 years, 10 years, 15 years or 20 years. So this is going to be a straight answer. That is, if you are possessing the commercial quantity of narcotic, it can lead to 20 years of imprisonment. Okay. So with this, we are going to finish the video. Thank you so much for joining. If you like the content and if you like the kind of explanation, please like and subscribe the video and share it with your friends so that they can also score good in NIPER and GPAT exam. So stay tuned to Pharmalix and thank you so much for joining.